Super Tim 101 here with another build review. This series goes over my favorite builds and my favorite mechs, whether they are considered meta or not. And today's mech might be my favorite mech in the game with my favorite build. This is the Timberwolf Bounty Hunter. And this is the camo pattern that comes with the Warden pack, which gets you this wireframe and enhanced imaging camo spec. And these elementals came with the pre-order pack, and I just love them. They're so cool. You can shoot them off. I think they look great. When I saw that they had this wireframe enhanced imaging look, it reminded me of Mechwarrior 2 and the old cartoon that came out in the early 90s. And those are two of the three things that really got me into Battletech. So when I saw those, I knew I had to get this pack. And it has become one of my favorite mechs, and one of the mechs that I just do the best in. It is called the Bounty Hunter because it is loosely based on the Bounty Hunter mech, the Bounty Hunter's mech. The Bounty Hunter is a character from the lore of Battletech, one of the best mech warriors in the lore. And the mantle is kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts. The mantle passes from one person to another. The initial Bounty Hunter was sort of a good guy Robin Hood character, while the later bounty hunters tend to be a little more ruthless, a little more just doing it for the money. And the bounty hunter took on people like Natasha Kerensky, even Kate Allard-Lyo, and were able to beat them using their mech warrior skills as well as some crafty tactics and ingenuity. So that's what this mech is loosely based off, is the bounty hunter. But I think it's just one of the coolest mechs in the game. I love the Timberwolf in general. I love the camo pattern. And I love this mech. Let's just jump into the store real quick and look at the quirks that this gets. The biggest thing is this pulse laser heat gen minus 5%. When it first came out, it was minus, I think, 7 or 7.5. That was ridiculous. But they had to reduce it to minus 5. And it's still really good. It helps with the pulse lasers very much. This other quirk is target info gathering plus 30%, which might seem not all that good, but that means your enemy's paper doll shows up on your heads-up display 30% faster. So you can identify which components are injured and just see which place to burn out faster. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the build. This is actually the same setup that I use on the Executioner D, so check out that video if you haven't already. You've got the 5 medium pulse lasers. In this case, there's 2 in each arm, 1 in the center torso, and 2 large pulse lasers. What's unique about this Timberwolf is that you get the clan ECM in the right torso. So that makes it really good for avoiding detection, being sneaky, sometimes if you can backstabbing. It is an incredibly useful tool. So go ahead and grab the clan ECM there. You also run 10 external heat sinks along with 10 in your engine for a total of 20 heat sinks. Gives you heat management of 1.31, which is still really spicy. You have to watch your heat quite a lot in this mech. But it's really good at getting those components burned off, getting the pinpoint damage, because even though they are lasers, they're pulse lasers, so the burn time is significantly slower, or significantly shorter, so you can get all that damage to a component a lot faster. I did have to shave the legs a little bit and the head quite a bit to get everything. You'll notice that the armor in the left torso is a little bit higher. It's because you have the ECM in the right torso. And that was clever on PGI's part, because on other Timberwolves, if you wanted to get jump jets, you would usually use the right torso of the S variant, because the S variant is the only Timberwolf that has jump jets. But that makes now you can't do that if you want the ECM, so you'll have to use the left torso, and the left torso is just not quite as good for things like laser vomit. Oftentimes you'll see the Timberwolf A left torso to get that high mounted laser or energy hard points. So it's very clever to put that there to have people make some critical choices about which omnipods you're going to use. But with this, I like to stick with the set of 8 for that 5% pulse laser heat and the 30% target info gathering. So let's go ahead and look at the skills. Pretty standard laser vomit stuff. We've only hit 3 of the laser duration nodes to reduce laser duration. The pulse lasers do benefit from it, but it's not quite as effective. It is a percentage, and the low duration time doesn't get affected because it's a percentage. It's not like a flat reduction. You could put these points on this side, and it honestly gives you the exact same values. It's the exact same, but it might look a little neater. You could do that as well. I put a ton of survival. You think you are sneakier than me, or you can be a little bit better at your positioning, which you likely can. You can drop this side or drop some of these and put more into firepower to get that final laser duration, a little more cooldown, a little more heat gen. But I tend to like a lot of hit points, especially on my Timberwolves, which are going to be easy to target side torsos and things. So I like a lot more hit points on my mechs. Nothing in mobility, nothing in jump jets. Operations, of course, is the full cool run and heat containment nodes. It is a very spicy mech. You can only alpha once before you get into trouble, so you want the full cool run to get your heat dissipation down and the full heat containment, get a higher heat limit. Then for sensors, you want to get these 2 enhanced ECM nodes to make sure that your ECM is as effective as possible. See that I experimented with a couple other things, but this is what I landed on for sensors. And again, the 1 point in auxiliary to get that value points for a advanced UAV and a cool shot. You could use artillery strike or airstrike here in the UAV spot. You definitely want the cool shot. You could also, if you wanted another cool shot, you could take some out of survival, and instead of putting it in firepower, put a couple points to auxiliary to get that second cool shot. But yeah, it does run pretty hot, and it is, but nevertheless, a powerful mech. Again, one of my favorite mechs, and it reminds me of sort of the nostalgia of the early 90s Battletech and Mechwarrior stuff. So, with that said, let's jump into a game. Yeah, looks like we got a group going, don't we?
Target acquired.
Alright, where are you, Keith?
Target spotted.
New target
There we go. Now
acquired.
that was weird. I'm like, oh, but that's funny. My screen is all blurry out my window. My mini map is perfectly focused, and everything out the screen.
What happened?
Target spotted. Okay, there we go.
Target spotted.
Yeah, I lost all my sound. I wondered why you guys
New
weren't
target acquired.
responding to anything I said, because my mic wasn't lighting up. So I'm like, all right.
New target acquired.
So then when I unplugged it and plugged it back in, it made my whole game freeze.
They're
I got
heavy,
low
double
signal.
5.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Yeah, it was like a stealth flea was coming back to
Team,
collect
left
the
side,
disco.
Charlie 5.
Yeah, really heavy double 5, try 5.
No, he buggered off.
New target
Target
acquired.
spotted.
take that.
Target spotted.
UAV activated.
Oop, did he die?
Target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Damn it.
Target destroyed. New target
Yeah, I've got a
acquired.
flea on me and Echo 4.
Target spotted.
Heat level
They've
critical.
got high ground and we gotta move forward.
New target acquired. Heat level
Target
critical.
spotted.
New target acquired.
Target
Heat
spotted.
level critical.
Center Trust and Echo.
Target destroyed. Override
Target
shut down.
spotted.
Kill.
New target acquired. Heat level critical. Override shut down.
Left torso and Alpha.
New target acquired. Heat level critical. Override engaged. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
Nitro is weak in the CT.
5 frames.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target
See
acquired.
if I can get me hotel here.
God. I didn't do shit.
Arctic full CT, Kilo.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Target destroyed.
Image enhancement engaged.
There's a flea, Delta 4 is right next to you at
Target
Timby.
acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired. Warrior incoming missile.
Target
One touch, Kilo's one touch,
Target
CT.
destroyed.
Nice.
Wait, what's enhanced imaging? What
Target
the?
acquired. Warrior incoming missile.
Enhancement engaged.
New
Ugh.
target acquired. Heat level critical.
Target spotted.
Yeah, it's funny how sometimes, like, MRMs seem to be, like, completely overpowered, and other times they're, like, completely useless. Like, I just put 40 missiles into that guy's chest and it did nothing.
Target acquired.
Last guy.
Delta 5 seismic, I think he's up high.
Is it that flea or whatever?
Delta 5
Yeah, I
something.
think so.
Yeah, low signal Delta 4.
Behind the
Need
Banshee.
assistance.
We're at the Banshee's feet.
What is it? Fleet. It's a fleet.
Shot like that.
Target acquired.
Target spotted.
He's taking the circle.
Kind of an
Probably going high
interesting.
ground.
I'm up the stairs. Yeah.
Target
He's
spotted.
wood.
Yep,
I don't
he's
know
Delta
anyone walking
5.
towards us.
Wow, he's light engine.
Don't chase that by yourself.
He's open rear.
Target destroyed.
There you go.
Well done, guys. I feel like I did better that game. Let's see how the end score looks. 3 killing bullets. 2 killing
Well,
bees.
The jump turn with the LB-10 and the MRMs at least scared the crap out of the flea, so he left me alone. Because he had me all by myself.
It was weird that he was
When
running what looked like maybe a light engine.
When I reconnected.
So I wanted to do a quick recap of the game and one, answer the question of why this particular match to show. As you probably noticed, I was having some frame rate issues, and you might have heard me say want to buy frames at one point because it was really stuttery. but I thought the match actually showcased a lot of good things about this mech and a lot of things that it's capable of. You notice I went off to the left immediately and initially pushed up into the high ground in Delta 5 with my team, but once I saw that there was a bunch of enemies there and our team was probably going to get pushed back because we just didn't have everybody with us, I retreated a little bit and went back and into cover behind some trees, behind that outcropping. And that was because with ECM, you are not easily detected, and you can kind of hide there, break line of sight, take some pot shots. So you notice I did that with the Grasshopper, with the Victor, and with the Supernova. You might have also noticed that the paper doll from my enemy popped up fairly quickly, and I could see where people were injured. That was apparent, I think, on the Grasshopper, apparent again on the Victor, certainly the Supernova, but also a little bit later in the game, it looks like we were falling behind. I was able to push forward a little bit. I saw that the Catapult, which was low ground, had an open left torso, and as soon as I saw him, I was able to blow that off. Then it also highlights how the importance of hit points. I was able to kind of sit there and take some damage while I was in the low ground. I was getting shot at by the Arctic Wolf. I was getting shot at by the Highlander and Catapult. I was able to blow off the side torso of the Catapult, turn to the Highlander. I saw that he had a cherry red CT because of my sensors, and then I was able to take him out. I kind of got lucky on the Hunchback, but I saw his paper doll come out late. Then I was able to push in. The mech can't really push by itself. It's just too hot to do that. You have to kind of stay back and try to focus on components until the late game where you can kind of push in and when people are opened up. It's still, those large pulse lasers have a good range, and even the medium pulse lasers have a decent range as well. You can get up to about 500 without losing all of your damage. So sit back at first, shoot people, take advantage of your ECM, watch your positioning, and you can really open people up in the mid and late game. So I thought it was a good game, even with the frame rate issues, and it highlighted a lot of the cool things about it. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and if you feel like it, subscribe. Have a good day.